why don't you shut the fuck up? Why don't you shut the fuck up?
Amos, you know that you know that I pay Amir. You know that, right?
Even if I think that connect with the Palestinians, you very rich, but you're not paying the mail. I'm not. You're not giving us money.
How do you know?
Jimmy, I even don't show who is more rich, me or you.
You got 10 taxis. You got one taxi. I've seen his taxis. Taxis are better looking, Amos. Your taxi is shitty.
You're probably richer than me, Amos. I'm not rich. I'm a poor guy.
Tell me something. Is it true what Amir say, or you're a taxist? I can be your driver?
Yeah, he's got 10 taxis, yeah. Look at him. Look at him. Start a business.
Shout and can you keep your mouth shut and let me speak then, Jindy? Dummy, don't dictator. Shut your mouth. Dictator, shut your mouth. Let me speak with Jindy.
Are we talking about how rich Jindib is?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck? What do you think of rich
Even
man?
Edward owns 20 taxis, Amos. Edward owns 20 taxis, and Jindib was 10.
No. Jindib is much richer. I mean, I'm not rich. Jindib is rich.
Yeah, he owns the small taxis. Edward owns small taxis. Jindib owns big taxis.
Yeah, but you know the insurance on those taxis now?
Yeah, but they're in the West Bank.
You know,
West Bank taxis.
Jindib, you know you can get away with something like I'll give you guys a top secret, okay? I know somebody from Armenian side. Is there any Armenians in the room? Okay. I know a person from Armenian side. You know what he did? He bought a old fucking limo, you know, for 5 or 10 grand. You could pick one up for 10 grand or 5 grand. He got insurance, like a personal insurance on it, okay? And they'll sell you personal insurance in America. And guess what? He rides the customers around, and he gets jobs from Craigslist and all this other shit. And he shows it, oh, these are my personal people.
My cousin used to do something similar. He used to have one of those Hummers, those Humvees.
Yeah.
And he used to do weddings.
Hey, you got your wedding,
I'm trying to hear from Amos and Mazi. Come on, Mazi, how are you, Mazi? Fuck the limousine shit.
He only says, how are you to Mazi, huh? He does it all the time, Edward. Can you believe it? He doesn't say hello to you.
An Iranian and a Palestinian.
If a native gets out of line, they go to the Chucky zone. You know, as a guest.
That isn't even my point. My point is that Westerners can go there. That is my point. And also, Saudi Arabia is not actively trying to take out the fucking world. When you have places that are honestly this sort of extremism, okay, where and they come on this app. I don't know why we're off to brand new. I mean, they quite literally want to see Islam take over the world. That is the Islam I'm talking about. And there are not enough of the so-called good Muslims talking. Why? Because if they do, they are fucking killed
Yes, they are.
I think if you're looking at Saudi Arabia, there's a bunch of things that you might be getting mixed up. Number one, the jihadists.
That's my point.
Hold on.
It's not that brand of.
Astounding to me. So I thank all of you for making all of this possible. Room rules, ladies and gentlemen. Room rules. We are here Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock New York time. However, we will not be here tomorrow for the holiday, so that people can enjoy the extended holiday. For those of you who are going to enjoy the holiday and not boycotting it because of the President of the United States, which we will get into in just a couple of moments. But at any rate, that's where we are on that. Anyways, top of the hour, I will give my opening salvo, which hopefully will encourage you to join Rashad and Jacob and me on the stage, or you could come up now in anticipation of what you might want to say based on today's topic, or anytime in the next hour if something is said on the stage that prompts you to want to participate, raise your hand, and you will be invited onto the stage. I call people in the order in which I see them on the stage, which may not coincide with the order in which you see yourself. So if it appears that I've skipped over you, worry not. It just means I see you further down in the queue on my handheld and you see yourself on yours. I always get to everyone who's in queue on the stage, time permitting. We used to call everybody whose hand is up onto the stage en masse, but that makes it difficult for me to maintain that order. So we now invite people one at a time so the stage doesn't get overly crowded. So if you're waving your hand down there in the audience and you think we're ignoring you, we are not. We will get to you again, time permitting. Unlike many of the other rooms in Clubhouse, in the Critical Thinking Forum, we treat one another with a degree of decorum and respect. We don't interrupt one another, and we appreciate that in advance. And generally speaking, after people speak, they are removed from the stage to the audience. This is not punitive in nature, and if that happens to you and you want a second go at it, raise your hand, and time permitting, you'll be invited back up on the stage. And finally, hey Marshall, welcome up on stage. Finally, if I or a moderator asks you a question, please, both from the side of yours truly and the moderators, we will admonish ourselves collectively. And those of you who we are making inquiries, and we will admonish you collectively. Let's not let it devolve into a shouting match. I cannot follow when more than one person is speaking. And I'm sure other people can't as well. And I know that's how a lot of the other rooms on Clubhouse operate, but we don't operate that way here. We're a little bit different than some of those rooms. And so let's try to listen to each other with a degree of respect when that happens. Please, 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 we're less than a minute away from starting officially at the top of the hour, giving me opportunity to also welcome Rosalind, Lisa, Christopher, let's see, Clemens, Mary Lou, Liz, Daryl, Z or Zed, Andrew, Murad, Sue, Mike, B. Tusha, and the ever-present Anonymous, and Dread.
That's John Kitover.
Welcome everybody to the Critical Thinking
That's John Kitover, the anonymous
At
guy.
the top of the hour, because that's the way Gary is wired. Welcome Hannah to the room. And we are now at the top of the hour. Welcome to the Critical Thinking Forum. We are here Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock New York time. Today's topic is, has Trump tarnished America 250 celebrations? Now listen, folks. I get accused when I ask questions of asking the questions as a sneaky way to make a point. Is Gary saying that the president has tarnished the America 250? No. Gary is asking the question. Well, why would Gary ask the question? Where does this come from? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for collectively asking me that question right now. Because believe it or not, I do logical answer to your question, and it is thus. I'm old enough to remember the bicentennial. I was involved in bicentennial celebrations.
Hey Isa, how you doing, Contomela? It's my friend Isa. Isa is back to the app. She's in Switzerland. She's working for the Qatari government. Welcome back, Contomela.
My buddies and I came up with a great idea. How about riding a horse to the pubs, to the Irish pubs? And then, from on top of that sturdy, steady mount, one of us, not me, Leo McGinnis, would recite the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Oh my goodness, we had so much fun that day. And, hey, we even got interviewed by the Detroit News. It was wonderful. The point is, the country was just so excited to celebrate the bicentennial. There was no hesitation. There was no partisanship. We just all came together as a nation to celebrate. I know for those of you who are not old enough to remember those days, I am not looking back with rose-colored glasses, hazily viewing something nostalgically that wasn't. No, I am telling you how it actually was. Please, if you were not around during those days, you'll have to just take my word for it, please. I beg of you, I am telling you the truth. I know it's hard to believe. So, I posted what I thought on my Facebook was a really innocuous observation. Totally apolitical in Gary's mind, which I guess I should have predicted otherwise, because this is not 50 years ago. And I just mentioned exactly what I told you, and I said, where's the excitement this year? I don't sense it. I'm in New York City. There should be there's great excitement here for the World Cup. There's not as much as excitement, at least not that I can sense, for America 250. And boy, oh boy, did that open the floodgates of the Trump haters saying, Gary, you don't get it. This country's not what it used to be 50 years ago, and it's all the fault of Donald Trump, and we have nothing to celebrate. Nothing. I said, what? Huh? I don't get this. And there's been a back and forth going on for days on my Facebook about this. It's like, what does Donald Trump have to do with 250 years of history in the United States? Well, he's commercialized to make it hit. Well, actually, he has and he hasn't. So let me throw the facts about that out. Long before Donald Trump was elected president, the planning was underway for what is called, and there is a distinction here, America 250. That's the official title that's used by the non-partisan, congressionally mandated, I could say bicentennial, semi-quincentennial commission. This is the semi-quincentennial.
You're listening to the Gary Baumgartner News Station. It's the 5 o'clock news Eastern Standard, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thank you for coming.
It's the official title designated by the White House's Salute to America 250 Task Force. This is not, even though it comes from the White House, the official America 250, right? So, look, if you want to go to the mall, and you want to go to the so-called state fair, and I say so-called because the District of Columbia is not a state. Why they call it a state fair, I don't know. Maybe if they call it America's States Fair.
This is the 5 o'clock news. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe now.
The title would make sense. Okay, they call it the state fair. I'll call it the state fair. You can go there. Or if you find that tacky, disgusting, especially the mock-up of the arch that's supposed to be representative of what a great president Donald Trump is, and you think that that's politicizing this wonderful moment in the history of this country, which when they formed it, they weren't even sure it would last 250 years. Don't go. Boycott it. You'll be in the majority, because from what I can see, very few people are going. All right. But does that mean we can't celebrate otherwise? These folks are telling me there's nothing to celebrate. Our country is gone. It's done. It's finished. And it's all Donald Trump's fault. Donald Trump is responsible for the demise of the United States of America. This republic will never recover from Donald Trump. That's what they're telling me. I'm not arguing this. I'm telling you that this is what I have been told. Now, from Gary's perspective, you gotta be crazy to say this. This is my perspective. You can disagree with me.
You're not crazy, you're
Please
annoying.
do come up on the stage and disagree.
You're stupid too,
Obviously,
Gary,
you're not
and
gonna
you
be
run
the
an
first.
echo chamber.
This is not about Donald Trump.
It is always
This
about
is about
Donald Trump.
250 years of history.
It's always about
That
Donald
we're
Trump.
celebrating, that we're still here, thank God. With all of our faults, with all of our problems, we are still standing, are we not?
Hello?
Is there not a lot to be proud of, how far this country has gone? And if we recognize how far we've gone, I mean, we've had some terrible, terrible times. We had to go through suffrage. We had to go through the end of slavery. We had to go through the civil rights movement. You know, the anti-war
the Civil War and had a second birth of freedom.
Right. The Civil War and the second birth of freedom. And we have farther to go, but if we look to our past and we see how far we've gotten thus far, as the old Virginia Slims commercial said, you've come a long way, baby. The second part of that should be, but we got a lot more to go, but we showed that we could do it. We could overcome these impediments.
We can do it, Gary!
In this country. And that should be an incentive to move forward and expand our freedoms.
We're not perfect, and we have a long way to go.
Yeah,
Projection says what? Keep interrupting, Marshall!
Screw up my train of thought.
That's what Marshall does best.
It should be something that we celebrate. So I'm saying to these people, and they're very...
Oh, we got Marshall good.
And they say, I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to celebrate the 4th of July.
I'm not
Okay,
gonna
they don't say it like that, but
celebrate.
that's how I read their words. I know I'm being sarcastic, but I think it's so
You are?
that the sarcasm
Hello?
is just flowing.